Hey, what is up? What is good? The Wolf is here with another Dark Zone video. Yes, The Division. This was from the closed beta, and yeah, we do have a open beta. I'm pretty sure that's what they're calling it. Open beta coming up for The Division pretty soon. Within the next week or two, I'm pretty sure. So, anyway, this is, like I said, it's the Dark Zone. This was, I think, like the second, major try going into the Dark Zone. Usually it takes me about 3 times to finally, first try, have no idea what I'm doing at all. Second try going in, starting to get the feel of things, of how the multiplayer works. And third try is like, okay, I got this, got a game plan, let's go. So this video is about me building a game plan for a Dark Zone. The last video, if you watch it, you saw I just did a blind play of it. Didn't quite know what I was doing, did get beat down some, and you will also see in this video maybe some possible things that needs to be balanced and counteracted and stuff. Again, as I said in the last video, definitely when the full game comes out, it's probably going to be a full-on, totally different monster. It's just, right now we have limited weapons, limited supplies and stuff. I would, to make the Dark Zones even better, I would almost like to see something like Destiny did, where you have a specific armory of weapons going into the Dark Zone. So maybe when you first get into the Dark Zone, you get a select amount of Dark Zone cash, like maybe $1,000 or something, or maybe 1,500. Maybe even 2,000, just so you can get your guns and your equipment. But everybody starts out with a small amount of cash. It's like somebody walks into the Dark Zone and is like, "Here, take this, take this cash and get yourself set up or whatever." And then you go into the Dark Zone and you start blasting the AI or enemy players, because it is Dark Zone. And you see, I'm rank 7. I was rank 8 on the last video. That's because I played this game mode for a little while, just trying to get my bearings, and yeah, I just kept getting beat down. So this right here, I actually like this a little bit more than facing against people, just in the fact that the AI was strong AI, and you know me, I like to do kind of like single player survivalish type deal stuff. And then maybe have some multiplayer encounters here and there, but not be overwhelmed by stuff. I hate when the game makes it feel like the game is screwing me over. That's the biggest thing that I really hate when games do. Like Call of Duty does that sometimes, where the connection doesn't run quite the right way and you can't do nothing, and that really just frustrates me the most. So seeing that guy, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to just run, because I am not in a position to be doing shootouts just quite yet. Had a yellow bag on my butt right there, which is materials or items more or less that you have to transfer out. So did a lot of running around trying to figure out, and this was part of the game plan I started to figure out, was running around and trying to figure out how to outsmart pretty much everybody in the lobby, because I'm playing Lone Wolf. You know me, I don't play with teams. And trying to figure out how to outsmart everybody in the lobby and get around the enemy AI, and then get to the extraction zone and hopefully have enough time in the extraction zone to lift materials out, while having everybody, it's like free-for-all, but everybody is against you at the same time. So I did start warming up to this game mode, and you will see in one last final video, which is coming up after this video, you will see probably some of the most epic gameplay I will have on the Warwolf channel ever is coming up in the next Division video, which was in the Dark Zone. It was absolutely insane. It may be a very, very long video, but you will see why when you get watching it. It is like a freaking movie. It's like I don't even have to commentary over it, and it's just like a story playing out right in front of you. Real time, on the fly story. Now this right here is where this game absolutely, I got so mad I actually did quit out of the game, because I got so pissed at this moment. So as you've seen, I blasted a whole bunch of people and this and that stuff, And it was getting a little bit later on at night, so of course later on at night you have teams that start forming up. You have a whole bunch of people that start, getting together and everything. And I was like, okay, well, I got a bunch of enemy AI. I can, just destroy these guys. And I was just thinking about enemy AI. I wasn't thinking about other players being around. And so I was just, trying to destroy the enemy AI the best I could. And I knew I was in a bad situation. I'm like, oh man, I gotta run to the corners or do something. My gun wouldn't quite reload too, which was kind of pissing me off. And then the enemy downed me. I was like, oh man, now I gotta run all the way up there. Okay. So, I just say the hell with it. I'd give up, dead on the ground right there, dropped a few items. I'm like, okay, whatever. I can just, respawn in, a little ways away. Not that big of a deal. So we're going to wait for it to respawn back in, and you will see something right here. So, yeah. Did I go to... Yes, I did. I went to the weapon vendor. Alright, and then I just checked around. I was like, okay, yeah, I can't really buy anything anyways. And this was probably one of the dumbest moves I made, too, right here, was that I went to the weapon vendor instead of just, hauling ass back into the map, because, of course, people are going to come and try and steal your loot that you just dropped. So then I was like, okay, well, it's right up here. My death location right there. And again... I was still getting the feel of the game, still figuring out my gameplay and everything. I wasn't even thinking of, other players. I mean, you already know what's going to happen. You already know what's coming up next. It doesn't, doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that, yeah, people are like, oh, the location, the extraction, is arriving in about a minute, 2 seconds. So people are running up there. Now, this is where I'm like, man, I don't care that people ran up there. That doesn't bother me. I know I expect, people to run after loot. Yeah. It's, you're in the dark zone. That's the whole point of the game. But this fact right here that you cannot actually kind of hold your own against people. So I'm like, yep, they just, I was ripping right here. I'm like, yep, they freaking just stole my stuff. I bet you ain't that money they stole my stuff. I don't know for sure. Maybe they didn't. Maybe it just disappeared or whatever. But it was there. It was dropped. And usually you can go back and grab your stuff afterwards. So I'm looking around. I'm like, how can I do this? And this is where it just felt like my hands are tied. I just got robbed. My hands are tied. There's nothing I can do now. And I was just sitting there like, well, this is where the balancing issue that I feel is really prominent. So, did that, tried to blow him up, and it doesn't even, it didn't even do anything. It didn't even make a scratch, and that is where I'm just like, this game is so freaking unbalanced. It's unreal. You should be able to hold your own. If I'm playing GTA online, I can hold my own against people, and I can actually, have a chance of actually getting my stuff back, and maybe even taking their stuff, because it is like a free-for-all style thing. And then, of course, people gotta be dickheads and, start doing this stuff. Like I said, I quit out because I'm like, no, this just isn't, it's not balanced, it's not right. So, hopped out of Dark Zone, and then I went back to the HQ to look for, upgrades, possible upgrades and stuff. And, that was the night I couldn't do anything. My hands were tied, and that really did piss me off. And I really hope that there's a way that they can find to balance the game a little bit more. So, right here, I just started doing, these are actually from my game DVR. And, just to show you that, yeah, I did start trying to do some Overwatch. I did the same thing as what everybody else was trying to do, and I was still getting shot down left and right. It's just the balancing thing of, that's why I really say, there should be a Dark Zone arsenal that you can't use regular weapons that you get from single player, because I think it might very well unbalance the hell out of the game, and I really see some very big potential right here, because if you think about it, look how big H1Z1 is. You possibly got that in this game. You just have to kind of fix up the ability to have people holding their own and be able to have shootouts and take down people that are going against them. You know, so if you are sitting there with the pack on your back, as so, and you figure out, see, this is the next day after. This was the absolute last day of the beta. This was a little more midday-ish, just at the morning hours. I think it was about noon to 2 o'clock my the East Coast USA time, and there wasn't so many people on the server. And so you could run around pretty easily and everything. You could kind of get away with doing whatever you was trying to be doing. So right here, got the extraction zone all lit up and everything. And I seen that somebody else was trying to extract. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go over to this extraction zone over here. I'll let them do their thing. I'll do my thing. Maybe I'm playing this just too nice and whatnot. But even if I try and be a bad guy on the game and try and steal other people's loot, I can't do anything because they've already got too many hours into the game. They've already... See, that's the unbalancing issue right there. I just said it. The amount of time that you put into the game dictates how well you can do in the dark zones. This is why I say you should get like a little bit of cash to be able to buy some weapons. I mean, yes, in due time, if you stick with the game, you're going to be able to get more dark zone cash, and then you're going to be able to buy bigger and better arsenals of weapons in the long haul. But if you really want to, get into the game from the start and stick with it and everything, see, that's why I think H1Z1 did a good job, because you're picking up weapons on the fly and whatnot, and everybody kind of knows what weapons are, and then it's like, but everybody has the same amount of firepower to them and the same amount of health and everything. So I think that really balanced H1Z1 out. That's where this dark zone stuff can really take a big page out of that. You'll see this was actually the first time I extracted some stuff out, and I was playing so stealthily. I mean, which you have to play this part of the game very, very stealthy. If you don't, there's a very high chance that somebody, see that guy right there spawn, he could turn around and blast me, and I really wouldn't be able to do anything about it, because he's probably got a very powerful shotgun, he's probably got a very powerful assault rifle, and I can shoot him all I want, and there's nothing that I can do to, stop it from, happening. And that, like I said, if there was an arsenal where, okay, he's got a shotgun, and I just went to the arsenal, and I had some cash on me. See, that's the other part too. If they did that, then if you have cash from, say you put the game down for 4 months, and and you had some cash on you before you put the game down, when you get back onto the game, you still have that cash sitting there, and then you can sit there and you can buy yourself some arsenals to really keep up with everybody else that has the bigger guns, because you also have the bigger guns. So then it balances the game out in the long run. Just my thoughts on it. Who knows? Ubisoft probably will never ever hear those thoughts, but hey, I'm putting it out there on video. That's my idea of how to keep the game balanced. Possibly also double, cash nights, or maybe if you haven't signed in a long time and the system automatically registers that you haven't been signed or logged in, you haven't logged in like 3 or 4 months, it could give you like maybe a couple thousand dark zone cash or whatever, but it only gives people that haven't signed in a few months some cash, so then they can keep up with everybody else that's on the servers. They can figure out which weapon is best, and they can go through and stand a chance against everybody else. So as you can see, I'm getting the loot out of here. That was my first time sending loot up in the chopper and all that stuff. It was pretty cool. I just want to say one last thing. If you like the ideas on the video, or you like the video itself, me getting blasted, me getting mad and everything, got some items right there, you can hit that like button, that thumbs up. You can share the video around. Hell, you can share it to Ubisoft on their Twitter account. I don't care. And as always, if you subscribe to the channel, it's going to make sure that you stay tuned for our new videos coming soon.